la Universidad Autónoma de Occidente somos WOW.
Somos calidad.
Y tú eres la razón de este proceso de excelencia. Somos tecnología que garantiza la proyección de tus ideas.
Somos innovación y emprendimiento.
Y estamos felices de acompañarte en la creación de tu proyecto de vida.
Somos inclusión.
Sabemos que la educación es para todos. Una mezcla de ideas, cultura y sentimientos que nos dan una mirada, como la tuya. Somos responsables con el medio ambiente y así puedas impactar a tu entorno. Somos personas enamoradas de lo que hacemos. Somos como tú. Somos WOW.
Welcome to UAO Speaks English, a radio program made by students for the world. Welcome to UAO Speaks.
Hello everybody. Welcome to UAO Speaks English. My name is Toro, your hostess. Today in our sixth program of the semester. Let me introduce my crew today. We start from our left with Jennifer Hurtado. Hi, Jen.
Hi, teacher Janina, and hi, everyone. Hope you're doing good.
So, who's next to you?
Well, next to me, I have my friend, Juan David. Hi,
Hello,
Juan.
lads. How are you doing? Thank you, Jennifer.
And that's a very British greeting.
It is.
And then to my right, I have Susie. Hello, Susie.
Hi, teacher. How are you? How are you guys today?
And next to you.
Hola, hello guys. My name is Elvis.
And then to my right. Okay, awesome. And Juan David wants to say hi to the audience.
Yes, we want to say hi to the audience watching us live. How are you this week? How are you going? What's your name? Where are you listening from? And while you write in the comments, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at UAO Speaks English. You'll find interesting content over there. For example, you'll see fun facts, videos, and info regarding our future programs.
And if you also are a student from the UAO, you can and if you want to be part of a radio program, you can send us a message through Instagram saying that you want to be part of a program and you want to be with us. And also, if you would like to be a guest in a program, you may contact us explaining the topic and ideas that you would like to share in our program.
Before starting our first session, we have an important announcement. Students, you will receive an extra grade just by registering and sending the video. So, Susana, why don't you tell our listeners what is this about?
Yes, sure. Hey guys, the Sound Challenge is back. The Languages Institute from Universidad Autónoma de Occidente, the UAOPlay Network, and CIDESCO have the pleasure to invite all the students to participate in the Sound Challenge 2022. This challenge will give the opportunity to students from 11 universities in the country to show everyone the power of their voices. This English Songs Challenge will have two categories, soloist and duo, where interpretation, quality, and English pronunciation will be assessed. To participate, you must have in mind the following aspects. These are: both men and women can participate. Second, the songs must be sung in English. The songs must be no longer than 5 minutes. And last one, singers cannot participate in the two categories.
Right. And they also must select either soloist or duo modality to participate. You must be a student in the university that are participating. And also all the participants must be amateurs. By amateurs, we understand a person who engage in a study or maybe in a sport or other activity in this pleasure traded for a financial benefit for professional reasons. Youth are both experienced and English teachers and musicians too, who can guarantee the decisions and objectivity and impartiality. And so the English Song Challenge will give institutional recognition to the first place and will certificate to the all finalists. I can tell you my experience because I participated in the Song Challenge in 2019 and it was amazing. And I invite you that you can join and participate to this program.
Remember, registrations are open until September 26th and mark your calendars to watch the final on November 3rd. Register here, so don't forget to fill out the attendance form by clicking on the link located in the program description. So guys, without further wait, let's start with our new session name. What do you think about it?
Have you ever wondered what other people think about stuff? Do you also want to express your opinion? Imagine if you can hear what others have to say. Well, that is why we've created this section. Welcome to What Do You Think About It?
Okay, guys, since your opinion is so important for us, we have created this section called What Do You Think About It? In here, we want to know your opinion, your reasons, your comments, and how much do you know about any specific topic. Today, we have very, very interesting questions about our main topic, and Juan David is going to give us more information regarding that.
Sure. So, our questions for today are the following. So, number one, do you know at what age the Queen Elizabeth died? Second, do you know what is planned London Bridge? The third one is, how do you see the future of the United Kingdom with the new king? And the fourth one is, what do you know about Queen Elizabeth II? While you give us your answers in the chat, let's connect with Daniela, Juliana, and Fabian, who are asking people around the campus.
But I think she died at 96 years old, if I'm okay.
Yes, she died when she was 96 years old.
She passed away at the age of 96.
I'm not pretty sure about it, but I think it's a plan they have before she died for, well, taking her body to a funeral or something like that.
Planned London Bridge is the code name for the procedure of taking the king or the queen's dead body to the cemetery, the graveyard.
That is when a queen or king died. That's the plan that they have to follow after that.
Well, I think it's like the protocol the royalty needs to follow when someone passes away.
When a new king takes over, it's difficult to predict. Okay. However, King Charles is like to follow his mother's tradition, right? So I think that the United Kingdom is going to stay united, so to speak. About the Commonwealth, I don't know what's going to happen to the Commonwealth. I hope it's still there. King Charles is.
To be completely honest, I believe it will be trashy. Maybe because of the earth, or maybe because of the beliefs of the people. Something like that.
Queen Elizabeth II was the longest reigning monarch in England, I think. And she was one of the only people in the world to not need a passport. And she also didn't have a driver's license or didn't need one. And she had her own a special line of corgis that she loved and she used to breed for her company.
I may be a little illiterate, but all I know is about the memes of her not dying and that she governs over England, I believe. Other than that, I don't know much.
I think it's going to be very bad because the new king, Carol III, does not have the same popularity that the Queen Isabel has before. So I think it's gonna have a massive impact in the economy.
Okay, so thank you very much, Daniela Castro, Juliana Hincapié, and Fabian Valverde for running those interviews around campus. And thank you everyone who participated answering them. You have been actively sending us your messages in the chat, and we want to take some time to read some of the comments. So let's see what comments do we have right now from the different answers, the different questions that we posted on the screen. So question number 1 was, do you know at what age Queen Elizabeth died? Juan David, are you able to read the screen over there to see the answer?
Yes, I see that Juan David Perez Cerón said that she died at 96 years old.
At 96, and most of you have answered correctly in the comments. The second question is, do you know what is the plan, the London Bridge, or the London Bridge plan? What answers do we have? Let's see while we wait. Okay, Jen, what about you?
So Juan David Perez said, in my opinion, it's overrated, not because she did bad thing. I think she's dead, doesn't really affect all of us. But that doesn't mean she wasn't important.
Okay, that is Juan David's opinion. Thank you very much for participating. And Susana, what other comment do we have?
Stefania Velas told us it was world news since she was the queen of many countries, being one of the greatest monarchs. Her death became a trend and she reigned for many years, 96 years.
Okay, and you guys are telling us what you knew about the Queen, and these are the comments that we're reading right now. What else do we have, Elvis? Are you able to read the comments from Daniel? Elvis? Over there? Yes.
Yeah. The Queen was involved in the polemic of Lady Di.
Okay, thank you, Daniel Ruales, for that answer. And finally, Manuela Montoya says, the death of Queen Elizabeth II made world news as she was one of the most influential monarchs in the world. She is definitely right. So guys, talking to you, what was your first reaction when you heard the news? I want to start with Juan David.
My first reaction was basically, bloody hell, she died. Why she died? She was such a beautiful lady and such a brilliant, just Her Majesty the Queen, is just the Queen. And you cannot imagine when a queen dies. It's just awful for everybody. So I was sad. But I was also intrigued by what will happen to the United Kingdom, because as you know, she was basically the one who had it for more than 70 years, and that means world wars, pandemics, that means the change of women in the power, that means integration of LGBT communities in the country. It's a lot of changes that she introduced to the country. So it's really important for everybody.
Okay, thank you so much. And Jen, what was your reaction? What was your first thought?
Well, I was surprised and I was sad too because, we get involved with the royal family with the on Netflix, The Crown. So I was like, no, that was so sad because I was watching her history, her family, and how she became to be like a queen. And I was also curious because of the reason of her death. So
I was very curious about that because we're going to tell you later on the history of health of the queen. And she was a pretty healthy woman.
Yeah, she was.
Almost never got sick. And it was very weird. But, I have a theory. She got COVID this year in February. So maybe she recovered. However, COVID leaves some traces in your body, and maybe that affected her because she was so strong.
And also her age. Like, she was
96. Yes, definitely. And you guys, first reaction when you heard the news. And I want to ask the audience, of course, where were you? What were you doing? What was your first reaction? Were you like, Queen what? Who is that? Or were you like, oh, that's so sad? Or what was your reaction? I want to hear and read your comments in the chat. Susie, what was your reaction?
Well, first, when I saw it in TikTok, actually. And then I saw it was like the Queen Elizabeth died. She's not immortal. They say that. And I started to look in Instagram, the news, and it was true. And I couldn't believe it because I thought that, I mean, she has reigned for too many years. It has been a celebrity since then. So, you know, I was very surprised.
I honestly thought she was immortal.
Yes.
I said, no, even her son is going to die before her.
Right.
And Elvis, your reaction?
When I entered my class, the fears, comments, the Elizabeth Queen died. Wait, this a joke? I think the alarm means maybe in the social networks to do. For example, the word Lady Di versus the Elizabeth Queen.
Okay.
So it's my fear reaction.
Got it. So you first thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to read some of the comments because you have been actively participating, answering the questions, and right now you're telling us what was your reaction when the Queen died. We have a comment from Alex Caicedo telling us Queen Elizabeth was the one who was in the power the longest, and that's why her death was so influential. Yes, Alex, thank you for your comment. What other comment do we have regarding people's reaction? I see some comments saying that people were in shock and things like that. But Juan David, tell us about Juan Esteban.
Juan Esteban Fernandez says, I felt really surprised because we are living in another historical moment of humanity. It is really impressive, very impressive.
Okay.
By the way, I also saw a really good comment from Carol Maigal. That's the Queen had many dogs and her husband was a prince, not a king. And that's really worth noting that Prince Charles, the Duke of Edinburgh, wasn't a king.
And she had in her power to make her king, to give him the title of being king, but she just didn't. She wanted the spotlight.
She wanted the whole power, yes.
Exactly. There you go. Okay, and a final comment. Jennifer?
Yes, we have a final comment from Juan Pablo Acevedo, and it says, the King of England has disappeared at the age of 19, 70 of them as sovereign, immersed in desolation by the death of her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh. And that's so true. I also want to mention a reaction that I saw this week on TikTok. I don't know if you guys saw it, from a girl that was telling, I guess it was her mom or maybe her sister, they were at the kitchen and they were cooking, and she was like, oh my God, the Queen had just passed away. And they was like, who, Beyonce? That was hilarious. And that also was so mean because, you know, I was expecting like a reaction about the Queen Elizabeth, and it was...
The memes and the videos that I have seen is like, if you are North American, you don't care.
Yeah.
Because it's not your queen. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the world, I mean, the Commonwealth, they do care. And I was just fond of her. Mm-hmm. I did also watch The Crown. So I was like, it's like I know her. Mm-hmm. Right?
Exactly. I feel you.
Very good. We have another comment from Carol Payares. And she says, I actually forgot about the Queen, but thanks to that I remember that there's no precedence in all the countries. Okay, all right, thanks a lot. Now, it is time to go into our second section of today, and that is the Tip Talk.
Many things happen every day at the U. Let's discuss them at
Tip Talk.
So guys, welcome to the Tip Talk. Today we're going to talk about the Queen's death, but not only about her death, also about her life and interesting facts, maybe things that you didn't even know. Who she was, how great she was, her influence as a queen, the right succession, who was happening with the monarchy now, and in addition, various facts that you're gonna find very interesting, right, Juan?
Yes. So hello everybody again. I would like to start this segment with some numbers about Her late Majesty the Queen. So first of all, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary was born on April 21 of 1926. It means she was 96 years old. She witnessed the end of the British Empire. She was the first president in the UK to make a large distance phone call. Same as for emails, the first royal to send an email indeed. Besides from being the longest women monarch, only surpassed by a man, which is Louis XIV, that reigned La France from 72 years and 110 days. She's also the first monarch that broadcasted a live coronation, live on 2nd of June 1953, and also she had a record on the radio and TV appearances on the Christmas broadcast.
And I want to remind everyone to take notes while you're listening, because at the end we're going to have a game. It's called Get It Right, and you better get all the answers right. If you were paying attention during our transmission, you are going to be the winner. Also, I want to remind you to fill out the attendance form. If you're listening through YouTube, in the description underneath the video, you're going to find a link to fill out the attendance. So what else do we have, Susie?
Okay, now that you mentioned her appearances and how good she looked, her death was very unexpected and a great sorrow for the world. Perhaps many are now trying to understand the cause of her death and how this relates to her death. After her death, the crown was immediately passed to her firstborn Charles. According to reports, Queen Elizabeth II had been planning for her succession for some time. What is clear is that Queen Elizabeth II did not suffer from any kind of degenerative disease, but died of natural causes. Last February, Queen Elizabeth II contracted COVID-19, which could have weakened the cardiopulmonary health of the longest-serving monarch in the history of the United Kingdom.
Right. And as we were talking about the disease of the Queen, we're going to mention it, their disease, starting from March of the 1993, where she had flu. Then in 1994, she had like a broken left wrist. Then we have in 2003, cardiac operation on the knee. In 2013, gastroenteritis. Then in New Year of 2017, like a bad cold. Then in November 2021, like a back injury. Then, as we were talking about, in February of 2012, of 2022, she passes through the COVID-19. And then in July of this same year, she misses the Jubilee celebrations due to weakness and fatigue. And I don't know, guys, what do you think about this? But it's like we have more diseases than she had in her whole life.
I mean, I know people that are sick every single week.
Right.
That's very true. Sometimes something had to happen to her. Such a short illness list is really unexpected that she died. So, guys, let us know in the comments, what do you think about this unexpected death of the Queen?
Well, although there are rumors that point to the fact that Queen Elizabeth may have died from a fall, what I have heard is she has fared a fall, and you guys, you know that at age she falls in the shower or down the stairs, it can be fatal. It will be one of the many possible causes of the former monarch's death. Other rumors suggest that Elizabeth has been suffering from leukemia for some time, which gradually deteriorates his state of health.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's really incredible, everything that happens, and that many things that are not revealed. You know, it's the crown and it's the royalty family, and there are things that some people, hide because they don't need to tell everything to everyone. And in the end, she was royal, and we were just, like we were saying, and like Susan was saying, we're just simple mortals. But something that it's very important and a curious fact is where we're going to talk about later. So let's talk about a little bit about those likable things topic that maybe we didn't know about the Queen Elizabeth.
Very good, Jennifer. Thank you very much. So let's talk about the new monarch. Who is the successor to the late Queen Elizabeth II? As we all know, the death of the Queen shocked the whole world and left uncertainty in the United Kingdom, as there is now a new uncertain era after more than 7 decades of stability in the crown. In addition, for the first time in more than half a century, there will be substantial variations in the line of succession, which would involve transfers of domiciles, new entries, and titles. Of all of them, one stands out above all others. Prince William is now at the head of the new line of succession to the throne. Do you think that in the future, Prince William could become the king. How long do you think this is going to take? I was recently watching some Nostradamus predictions, and they said that King Charles' monarchy is going to be short, and then that William is going to become king, but that he's going to bring many changes to the monarchy, that things are not going to be as traditional as they used to be with Queen Elizabeth. So we want to ask you guys in the audience, what's your opinion about King Charles? Is he going to be a good king? Would you rather have King William being the king? Give us your opinions in the comments. And Juan has some more information to share with us.
That's right. But just for the sake of you to think, there has been two only Charles in the throne, and those Charles had been terrible. So just think what will happen with this third one. Will the third one be the charm, or will King Charles be bad? So, for now, 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren. That is the extended family that Queen Elizabeth leaves behind her death. Can you believe it? That's a lot of people. We might as well mention that she married her cousin. The late Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, was the third cousin of Queen Elizabeth II, as both were great-grandchildren from Queen Victoria. Elizabeth reportedly fell for the prince when she was 13 years old, and the two eventually married on November 1947. Her firstborn, Charles III, Prince of Wales, is now at the moment of he is now going to be king because of her mother. He is 73 years old, and his formal proclamation took place on this Saturday and a solemn ceremony at St. James Palace. It's another historical day for the British capital. Camilla, his second wife, after the death of Lady Di, or Diana, the Princess of Wales, in 1997, is now Queen Consort.
And besides, after the Duke of Cornwall and Cambridge, the next heir to the throne are their children in their order of age. I'm going to mention some of them. Well, all of them. First of all, we have the Prince George with 9 years old, then the Princess Charlotte with 7 years old, then the Prince Louis with 4 years old. It should be noted that William and his wife, Catherine, assumed the Duchy of Cornwall, and also the title designated for the firstborn some of rank British monarchs. And on Thursday, September the 8th, they were appointed the Duke and the Duchess of Cornwall, and also the Duke of Cambridge. Fifth in the succession is the William's brother, this is the Prince Henry, with 37 years old, and also followed by his children. First is Archie Windsor with 3 years old, and then Lilibet Diana with 15 months. And the list is definitely too long for the monarch ascension, so let's see the comments of our audience. What do you think about the list? What do you think about the prince? What do you think about the succession?
And we do have many comments. What I have seen that is a common thing is that many of you are saying that you don't like monarchies, that you think maybe we are living modern times, and that the monarchies shouldn't exist anymore. And based on the predictions, supposedly people that follow monarchies and that fan monarchies are dying now because they are at advanced age. And new generations, they don't see the need of a monarchy. So sooner than later, monarchies will disappear. So can you help me, Jen, read the comment that we have right there?
Of course. We have a comment from Daniel Esteban saying, I didn't like the monarchy. Right now, don't have the purpose because can't help the government or participate in a political. It's only like a TV show for the entertainment of the people on England.
Like a reality show.
It is.
I think that was the first reality that ever existed, to watch the people's life, monarchy life, how they live, how they wear, what they wear, maybe their different situations with divorces and children, things like that. We can definitely say that that was the first one. Elvis, what else do we have?
So, read the... So, Andrea Rodríguez say, well, King Charles has kid challenge ahead.
He does have a challenge. Yes. And Susie, what else do we have?
Well, Trillion Games says the tree section is very large. Yes, indeed it is. There are like almost 23 successors that can be after, each one.
So if one is missing, there are many of them to fulfill it. Daniel Urbano says, very interesting, the line of succession. As I said before, I thought that he would not take the throne and leave it to the son. I honestly thought the same. Like, since he got married for the second time, that is something that the monarchy doesn't accept. Divorce is not accepted as well as it should be. I thought that maybe the right to be king would have been taken away from him due to this. What do you think, Juan David?
Perhaps he can abdicate as his great-grandfather, I'm sorry. Or maybe the fact that Lady Di died, it's an excuse for him to be able to be king. Because we actually don't know if that was an accident or something that somebody perhaps planned because they didn't like Lady Di indeed. She wasn't loved in monarchy because of her. Can you remember me the name?
Kate.
Kate has some similarities with Lady Di.
Yes.
The way she treats people, the way she dresses, the way she moves. She's quite similar to Lady Di.
Even they have compared some of her outfits,
That's
and
right.
they're very stylish as Princess Diana was. Okay, guys. So, do we have one more? Juan Esteban Fernandez says, I think William won't have to wait a long time to be king because Charles feels that he's not accepted in the UK, and I think that this is a common feeling. He waited a long time to be king. He did want to be king, but right now maybe he doesn't have the strength to fulfill all the responsibility that entitles. Okay, so most of us at some point we have heard in series or movies when they crown a monarch a title like the first of his name. This happens a lot of Game of Thrones. Like Diana, first with her name, the Queen of the Andals, the Mother of Dragons, and all these things. So it says the titles are first with his name, Queen or King, and Queen Elizabeth was no exception, since her official title was Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, of the United Kingdom of British Britain and Northern Ireland, and Queen of her other realms and territories, head of the Commonwealth of Nations and defender of the faith. And you know, guys, talking about the name, when they become king or queen, they sometimes change their real name. And something particular about Queen Elizabeth is that she didn't want to change her name. She said, why another name? My name is Elizabeth. I will be Queen Elizabeth.
I remember that because of The Crown of Netflix.
You know, that's exactly why I remember. In addition, she was the 6th woman to ascend to British throne and holds the record for the longest reign monarch in England. During the World War II, she enlisted in the armed forces in the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service and reached the rank of 2nd lieutenant. Right, Juan?
That's right. I would like to point out something to Juan David Perez. And he said that in the UK, there's no president, there's a first minister, but the power or the order is under the monarchy. Actually, Juan David, the power is not on the monarchy. The monarch is just an image. The prime minister makes the connection between royalty and the House of Commons, which is composed by the Commons and the Lords. But the power, indeed, it's on the Commons, the people that the ones that people elect to govern the country. Now, let's continue. Her Majesty was also quite a traveler. According to the Telegraph, Queen Elizabeth was probably the most traveling monarch in history. In her 70 years as queen in the UK, she visited at least 117 different countries and traveled more than 500,000 kilometers. And she started traveling from the moment she began to be queen. She made a trip throughout the Commonwealth. Also, she was really known for her dedication to the role. Every single morning she checked the red box. For the ones that watch The Crown, we know what the red box is.
We do.
But for you that perhaps don't know what the red box is, it's a box that contains royal documents that she checked every morning at the beginning of her reign and in the end. Jennifer, what do you think about it?
I think what you're saying is really true, and I really invite you guys, if you haven't seen The Crown yet, I really invite you to see The Crown because it's an amazing series. So, Susie, what do you think about what Juan is saying, and what do you think about, what do you need to tell us about what people think about the Queen's death around the world?
Well, I would like to tell you all that, for example, in the United States, the President Joe Biden and the First Lady Jill Biden released a statement after the Queen's death, saying that she defined an era and defined the bedrock alliance between the United Kingdom and the United States. That's crazy, right?
Yes.
Even on the start of the world, the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida told reporters the Queen had a significant role in creating world peace and prosperity, adding that her passing was a huge loss to the international community. In China, the French president, Ukrainian president, everybody is talking about her death.
And even our first lady from our country is going to the funeral. Did you know that?
Yes. But wasn't it Francia Marquez also going?
I'm not sure. But let's not get into that topic.
I think we're going to need another program to talk about that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. And
so what Susie was saying, it's right. And even here in South America, more precisely in Brazil, the President Jair decreed 3 days of mourning to pay respect to the Queen. Unfortunately, not everything is rose-colored. Some observers reflect on how the British Empire's suppression of independence movement complicated the Queen's legacy. I think that we as Colombians who were once located by Spain must understand that Black, Caribbean, and Indian and Islander people around the world who were subject to horrors, cruelties, and economic deprivation under the British Columbians are like allowed to have such bad feelings, and also for the Queen Elizabeth because of all the Lady Di team, you know, the Lady Di topic. And after all, they were also their subjects.
And before we continue, we want to ask you, do you know any fun facts about the Queen? Do you know something that you have seen in movies or in videos lately? Something interesting and different than what we have already said? Maybe what was her favorite color? What was her favorite food? Because lately, a lot of people have been leaving gifts in front of Buckingham Palace, in Balmoral, and everywhere. And they're leaving something in particular. Do you know what it is? So we want to read your comments later on regarding this topic. What do you know about the Queen that most people don't know? Let's continue with Elvis.
So the living this writer, yes.
Yeah.
Marquis, may I add the well of love that don't we? Well, I believe we don't love them as much as the late Queen. She owned more than 30 corgis through her lifetime, and did well she also have an elephant and someone fell.
En la Universidad Autónoma de Occidente somos WOW.
Somos calidad.
Y tú eres la razón de este proceso de excelencia. Somos tecnología, que garantiza la proyección de tus ideas.
Somos innovación y emprendimiento.
Y estamos felices de acompañarte en la creación de tu proyecto de vida.
Somos inclusión.
Sabemos que la educación es para todos. Una mezcla de ideas, cultura y sentimientos que nos dan una mirada, como la tuya. Somos responsables con el medio ambiente y así puedas impactar a tu entorno. Somos personas enamoradas de lo que hacemos. Somos como tú. Somos WOW.
Thank you guys for waiting for us. We were taking a little break, but we're back. So we were talking about something that in my case is something nice about the Queen, and it's about her puppies, her corgis. She had a collection of them, she raised them, she had many of them. I think in her life she had more than 30?
30, yes.
30? Yep. But Elvis is going to keep telling us more information about this. So Elvis, start again.
Yeah. Leaving this writer, may I add wall of love, don't we? Well, I believe we don't love them as much as the late Queen. She won more than 3 courtiers through her lifetime. And she also had an elephant and some felines. And talking about this that is really funny, why don't we mention the time she was undercover and pranked some tourists, telling them she was on the Queen, or time that she went to party incognito with her sister Annie on central London.
That's right. And by the way, did you know that the Queen did not need it, nor a passport or a driver's license? How amazing is that? She was the only one in the royal family with that capability.
People already know you, so they don't need to check your identity, right?
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for your comments. We are reading some very interesting facts. Something that I had no idea about, and it's difficult for me to believe, is a comment made by Angie Valentina Patiño. And she is saying the Queen was very fond of video games. And it was said that she had a gold Nintendo Wii. Is that possible?
It's possible.
Really? Do you imagine the Queen there playing with the remote control?
I'm sorry, but you're freaking kidding me. Like a gold Nintendo, that's amazing.
I do remember when she acted at the Olympics with James Bond. She flew from a helicopter and she appeared in the stadium.
She would?
I mean, she wasn't in the helicopter, but somebody acted as if it was the Queen. But she was. But,
I was about to say.
But at the beginning, she was with James Bond, and Bond was like, "I'm James Bond, and I'm the Queen Elizabeth," and they were walking.
Oh wow! All right. So we have another very fun fact. Juan David Perez says, we gave her a gold Nintendo, but the guards didn't let the company give her the gift. So at the end, I'm confused. Did she play the video game? She didn't get it. I want someone to Google it and confirm the information, because for me that's very interesting and funny. I mean, I can't imagine her like being there playing with her grandchildren or something like that. Susie, what other comment do we have?
Well, we have Oscar Andres Quiroz tell us he had a presence in Rock, the cover of the 1977 Sex Pistols single God Save the Queen. With the face of the Queen, her eyes and mouth were hidden by the names of the group and their hit song.
All right. And that was about the Queen. Well, she had 30 dogs. Yes, that is what we just mentioned. And
The Juan David answered. He said, she didn't get the name. It is now at the museum.
That's a shame. You can donate it to me.
Yes. I would like it.
We can play here during the program. So guys, our partner Juan Fernando has prepared a CVS video for us. So we're going to watch it to learn some more information about the Queen and maybe to remember the moment that her death was announced. Let's watch the video.
She truly was one of a kind. Lee Cowan looks back on the extraordinary life and times of Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor, Queen Elizabeth II.
A few moments ago, Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Her death, even at 96, still came as a seismic shock. Not so much that Queen Elizabeth II was gone, but that her decades of stability and continuity were suddenly gone too.
It's just a sad day. Just a very, very sad day.
There are few alive today who remember a time without Queen Elizabeth. She was there during the Cold War, through the age of Twiggy and the Beatles, through wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. She adjusted to social media, she weathered Brexit, she survived COVID.
I hope in the years to come, everyone will be able to take pride in how they responded to this challenge. And those who come after us will say the Britons of this generation were as strong as any.
In her 70 years on the throne, she became one of the most recognizable, admired, and trusted figures in the world. And yet, as familiar as she was, the Queen was largely unknowable.
She had such a level of integrity and affection that many of us felt she really belonged to us and we belonged to her.
Gavin Ashenden was the Queen's chaplain for almost a decade.
What was she like in private?
Well, she was actually an immensely intelligent and astute woman with a very dry wit. She didn't suffer fools gladly, and above all, always generous. There was no self-absorption about her.
While some saw her as aloof, others saw her royal stiff upper lip as simply an outward expression of her role as a constitutional monarch.
Having grown up in the Second World War, she belonged to a generation which just got on with it. She didn't believe in emoting in public. She didn't believe in complaining in public. That was not ever her style.
Sir David Kennedy is a respected British author and historian.
There is something about that mystery of the monarchy that served her well in a lot of ways.
Yes, part of her charisma, I think, in the end, derived from the fact that we didn't really know what she thought about most things. And that gave her a particular kind of prestige, which I think is completely unique.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for staying. We're going into our last section, the Get It Right.
Games, trivia, and a lot of fun. All you gotta do is get it right.
Welcome to our final section, Get It Right. In this one, we're going to play a game. There are 5 multiple choice questions, and you're invited to send us your answers in the comments. The idea is that you get it right because you were paying attention through the whole transmission. So without further wait, let's go with our first question. Jen, what is it?
Sure. Our first question is, what was her complete name? A. Sarah Margaret Ingrid. Oh, wow. B. Alexia Elizabeth. C. Elizabeth Alexandra Mary. And D. Martha Elizabeth Stewart.
Martha Stewart. Isn't that the cooking lady, the baking lady?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, what is it? A, B, C, or D? For sure, it has to include the name Elizabeth, so that is a hint right there. So it is between A, B, C, and D. But you know, guys, it's interesting how monarchy, they have many names, like 5 or 7 names. I think I'm going to do that with my children. I'm going to give them like 10 different names.
And they also have a lot of last names.
They do, okay, from their whole...
Like Windsor, Mountbatten, and all of them. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll be like Diana, Margaret, Jennifer, Susana, Juana, Toro. Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, so everyone is saying C. Is that the right answer?
Yes.
Elizabeth Alexandra Marie. Let's find out.
Windsor.
Windsor. Yes, that is the right answer. Very good, everyone. Let's go to question number 2. Susana and Elvis.
So the second is, when was she born and what was her age?
Okay, and Susana can give us the options.
Okay, A, 2nd of August of 1925, 90 years old. B, 30 July of 1930, 92 years old. C, 21st of April of 1926, when she was 96 years old. And D, 15th of June of 1925, when she was 97 years old.
That's very good, very easy, because if you know her age, you will know her birthday. I had no idea that she was born in April 21st. So that means that her sign, she was a Taurus? Tauro? She was a Toro? Yeah. From 2030. Yes,
I don't know,
she was.
Yeah,
She was fire.
Yeah.
That's why she was so strong. Okay. So what do we have? People are saying C, April 21st, and absolutely that is correct. Let's go to question number 3, Juan David.
So after her death, who is her successor? A, Prince William. B, Prince Charles. C, Princess Anne. And D, Prince Harry.
We know that Prince Harry cannot be because
he skipped royalty.
Yeah. Exactly. He's not a royal, not as important royal as he should be. So William, Charles, Anne, and Harry. People are saying B. Prince Charles. Somebody said A because they want Prince William to be king.
We have B.
But the answer is... Of course, Prince Charles. Guys, congrats. You have been paying attention. Finally, I will have 2 more questions left. Susana, question number 4.
Okay, 4. How many countries did she visit? A, at least 117 different countries. B, maximum 100 countries. C, exactly 105 countries. D, no more than 90 countries.
That is something that I love about monarchy. How much they travel.
And didn't have to pay not a single tax. Queen didn't have to pay taxes, but she paid taxes because she wanted to. But she didn't have to pay taxes.
She doesn't have to pay taxes because taxes are her salary.
Yeah.
So
she was paying to herself.
Exactly.
Right?
So people are saying A, at least 117 different countries. And the answer is... That's right. Yes, there you go. Very good. So, Elvis, question number 5.
What kind of benefits did she have?
What kind of benefits did she have? And Jennifer can give us the options.
Of course. A, she didn't need to pay in the supermarket. B, she didn't have to pay any taxes. C, she could elect any president in the world. And D, she didn't have to have a passport or driver's license.
Okay, well, I think some of them are true, not only one. So you're allowed to give us 2 or more options in the answers. For sure, I don't know about, can she vote? Well, there's no president in that country.
There's prime minister. I don't know if she could elect the commons. I'm not aware of it. Perhaps not.
Okay.
I don't remember if I saw her voting in the crown. I'm trying to remember.
No, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't recall. I don't recall seeing it. How is prime minister elected?
The commons.
Mm-hmm. But through voting.
Yes.
Yes.
But not the people, just the politicians.
The committee inside
Yes,
the cabinet. The cabinet. Okay. All right. So we have people saying D. She didn't have to have a passport or a driver's license. And, well, Juan David just gave away the answer before.
Yeah.
So I think we have 2 possible answers. Let's find out what are the right ones.
Bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. D, but also B. Because you mentioned it. She didn't have to pay taxes.
It's all kind of A.
And she didn't have to pay at the supermarket.
She didn't have to go to the supermarket.
She didn't have to pay anything.
I think she never went to a supermarket before.
No.
I think she never went to a supermarket. Yeah. Yes.
She never bought anything. Everything was bought for her. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for your participation. I hope that you enjoy all these fun facts. We prepared this with much love for you guys. If you want to be part of our team, remember that you can send us a message into our Instagram account. Also, you can be a guest in our program, letting us know what topic would you like to talk about, and we can definitely arrange it. Don't forget to register for the song challenge. The idea is that you participate sending a song. You can participate as a solo artist or as a duo. It could be men and women. It could be one of each gender, both genders. It's okay. And you can scan the QR code right now or take a screenshot of your screen so that you can save it for later. Even if you're not going to participate, you are invited to watch the final on November the 3rd. Thank you very much for connecting today, and see you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Welcome to UAO Speaks English, a radio program made by students for the world.